What's up, beautiful people? How are y'all feeling today? Welcome to another episode of America's Conspiracy Compass, where we go down the rabbit holes. And today, I stumbled across this video, and it's got me scratching my head, and now I'm over here thinking all types of stuff. And I got to share it with you guys, all right? Normally, I make this a cutoff stream, but I'm not going to make it a cutoff stream today, all right? And the reason being is because this isn't going to be a full hour long. I don't think. Maybe it could be. But also, I want you guys to see how the show actually runs. And of course, it's just me again today because Casey has got visitors at his house. Shout out to my man Casey. If he could be here, he would. All right. But he's not. So it's just me. But we're going to make this thing happen. My lighting sucks today. Let me see what's going on here. No, that's not better. There we go. That's a little bit better. That's a little bit better. All right, I can take that. But I need you guys to share this thing out. All right, what's going on, y'all? I see everybody in the chat. I see what's going on. Mary, Binary B, Clint, what's up? All right. So as you seen in the thumbnail, we're talking about Beau Biden. I don't know how much you guys know about Beau. Man, this light is making a ringing in my ear. Can't do this. Turn this one up. All right, there we go. All right, so Beau Biden. How much do you all know about Beau Biden? Because I didn't know a lot, right? I just knew that he was Joe Biden's good son that passed away. You know, he seemed like a decent guy, seemed like an all right person. But there's a lot. So I'm going to start off with this. All right, I'm going to start off with this video real quick because this guy got this award, and we're going to get into what this actually is. All right, so right now, just check this out.
Our goal, and Michael's idea and Karen's idea, was in our little old state of, we're almost 1 million people now. In our little old state, we can get to everybody. And our idea, their idea, was to try to educate 5% of our population, 35,000 Delawareans, on spotting the signs of child abuse and neglect. And we can do that in our state. We set out a goal to do that in 5 years. I think we're going to be able to do it in about half that time. But it's because of the leadership of these folks who I introduced to you, whose idea this was, partnering with an incredible organization, Darkness to Light. And Elizabeth, I'd like to thank you also for being such a part of our effort in Delaware and coming to Delaware on so many occasions. You know, the spotlight is on this issue. I'd like to thank everyone in this room for being willing to be here tonight and support an organization I've come to love and care about deeply, Darkness and the Light. There are very few times in life where you get to shine a bright light on an issue like is being shown on this issue today. I live about 12 miles from the border of Pennsylvania. We live in the Philadelphia media market. We are seeing, and you are seeing, what is happening in Happy Valley, as is the home of Penn State. I know here in this state, and in this city, you're experiencing a similar investigation in a similar case. We've had similar ones in the state of Delaware. I feel like I'm preaching to the choir when I talk to an audience like this, but it bears repeating, if you might indulge me. 1 in 4 girls is sexually assaulted before they're 18. 1 in 6 boys is sexually assaulted before they're 18. Only 1 in 10 of them ever report it. And 9 out of 10 of them know or say they love the person they victimize. This is a national epidemic. This does require the people in this room to focus and shine a bright light onto this issue because it goes to the heart of some of the most intractable problems that families face that Libby has dedicated her professional and personal life to eradicating. And that is how we change our society, how we teach people in this city that I love, that is full of beauty and tranquility and manners, minding your own business. You're taught as a kid, kind of mind your own business, right? Well, this is somewhere where we shouldn't mind our own business. It kind of cuts across and goes counter to what we are taught. That's why it's such a difficult issue, and that's why I'm so honored to be here, to be in a room with people who understand this and are committed to it. We have a moment in time with what is happening in Pennsylvania, and unfortunately what is happening here, and unfortunately what happened in the state of Delaware, to make sure that no child has to go through what we read about happening right now. Too much has been focused on about who knew what when and who's going to prosecute what for what. What we should be talking about now is how we never have another victim, and we should be talking about the survivors of child abuse. So thank you for the leaders in this community. I know this room is filled with both business leaders and philanthropic citizens of this great, great city and state. Thank you for being leaders, not just in this great state, but nationally. I think we have a chance. I think we have a chance because the eyes of the nation are on this issue. The eyes of the nation are rarely on an issue. For all of the different not-for-profits many of you support, rarely does there come a time when the eyes of the nation are on an issue. So let's keep up this fight. We can save lives. Thank you.
Right off the bat, listening to that, I'm like, yo, this dude, he's talking good. Like this, I could get behind this. And this is, this is stuff that we talk about. This is stuff that we try to bring, to the forefront. And to see this man, Beau, talking about it, getting an award in 2011, that's amazing. But it gets deeper. Like, I didn't know that his heart was in it like that. I knew he was the Attorney General of Delaware. He was set up to be the senator. I didn't know I know he served and then passed away of something like I forget what it's called. But he passed away. So it had me wondering. I'm like, yo, how did he turn out this way? And then you see his brother, he turned out a completely different way. And why is he so deep into this, right? So the rabbit hole gets deeper. Now, I'm going to go to another video. See, it's got me going down these little rabbit holes looking into Beau Biden. Shout out to Beau Biden, man. I hope you're in heaven hanging out, bro. Real talk. So let's get back to it. All right, it's this one. Okay, yeah, this one.
Okay, I've done 2 live streams about this topic, but I don't think anyone's listening to me, okay? How do I do this in under 3 minutes? Okay. Beau Biden, the eldest son of Joe Biden, who died in 2015 from a very aggressive form of brain cancer called a glioblastoma, okay? Which Joe Biden has always suggested that the reason he got the glioblastoma was because of his time that he was stationed overseas in the Middle East during the Iraq-Afghan war, right? In 2006 to 2008 when he was there. He was in the National Guard or the something, right? He was in the military, the point is. Anyways, at the time, though, he was also the Attorney General, right, for Delaware, for like, I don't know, nearly 10 years, till he died, essentially 2006 onward. And he was supposed to become the senator of Delaware, just like his father, Joe Biden. But in 2008, Obama wins presidency and he picks Joe Biden to be his vice president, meaning he has to leave his seat as the senator of Delaware. And they all thought, and everyone thought, that Beau Biden was going to become the senator, obviously filling his father's footsteps because he's the golden child. That's what he was born to do, right? And what does he do when that happens? Instead of deciding, I want to run for Senate, it's not like he ran and lost. He didn't run. Well, why didn't he run? They're like the Bidens, right? But no, he didn't run because he was in the middle of a case.
This is about to get deep. I did not know what she's about to tell y'all. And I looked this up and it's true. All right. This is crazy. I did not know this about him. And it's crazy. You're going to see why it's crazy. Just keep watching.
A huge case, and his whole life had changed, and he had become focused on one passion, and one passion only. And that passion was to end child trafficking and end child sex abuse.
His passion was to end child trafficking and end child abuse, which is ironic to me. It's ironic. His father is the president of the United States now in 2024, and more children have gone missing underneath this administration than any other administration. I find that to be completely, if that's not irony. But it gets deeper.
Right? Because he got a case. The case that he got was, he threw himself into it like you would never believe, okay? And it was the most prolific, they called him the most prolific child rapist in American history. Way worse than Jeffrey Epstein. This guy was a pediatrician with access to 7,000 children. 1,400 families came forward with allegations. 200 were caught, some of them on videotape. He had a toy dungeon underneath his pediatrician practice, and this went on for decades, right? And so Beau Biden was like, I'm not having it, and puts the whole book down on this guy. And as AG, makes sure the guy gets 16 consecutive life sentences plus 165 years.
Plus 165 years on top of 16 life convictions. This man was not playing games. He went after these people hardcore. If they were involved in this, he was a terminator of them. Straight up.
Right? Just bam. And he wasn't done. There was another case, a totally different case, that involved the heir to DuPont Chemical raping his own 3-year-old daughter and apparently also his son, right? So it was a long battle with that one. They had problems because the allegations, not having such young witnesses, and all these other problems, right? But he still gets the guy to plead guilty to raping his own daughter, 3-year-old daughter, right? Even though the judge goes way too light on him. That was Beau Biden's passion. Passion was ending it. Ending child trafficking, ending child abuse, sexual child abuse. That was his passion. Does nobody understand that? That he tried and convicted the country's most prolific pedophile. Like, how did I not know that? And that he got the heir to DuPont Chemical to plead guilty to raping his own daughter. Okay, so now you know that about Beau Biden, right? Maybe we all learned something. Maybe everyone knew and I just didn't know. Okay, but here's the point I'm getting to. How can you have a son, being Joe Biden, how can you have a son like Beau Biden, whose passion literally till the day that he died was protecting children at all costs? You know, he visited 25,000 plus children in the state of Delaware through the school system, educating them on how to report crimes and how to, discuss this with their parents and teachers to report when they were being abused. He started the Beau Biden Foundation for protecting children, which still runs today, which his wife still runs. Now, knowing that that's his passion, how strongly passionate he was for it, you, as president, you have fumbled your son so much. Not only did you let your degenerate other fucking younger son sleep with his wife, Beau Biden's wife, and you just let that go. You let that just whatever, right? You let him do whatever. But that's not even what sucks. Poor Beau, right? But he's the son, the guy who tried the most prolific child abuse case in our country's history. His father is the president of the world's largest child trafficking ring right now, involving the United States government and over 300,000 missing immigrant children, some that have undoubtedly ended up in the hands of child traffickers and organ harvesting and all sorts of crazy stuff. How could you be that guy and say you love your son? And not to mention, Joe Biden's wife, Jill, sits on the board for Save the Children, and Save the Children is under investigation by the government of Guatemala for child trafficking and child abuse.
Y'all hear this?
How can these things be a reality? How is your mind not blown? Like, maybe it's just me.
That was a lot, right? But how crazy? How crazy is that? That this man dedicated his life, did not even run for Senate. He said, nah, because he was working on this case and he's like, I'm going to get this conviction on this dude. We're going to end child, SA. We're going to end that. And we're going to end these rings and all of this. And then he's dead in 2015. And his father is the president over the worst time in our history when it comes to that topic and how bad it's going. And Jill sits on the board of the Save the Children, which is under investigation in Guatemala for what they're supposed to. What? That's a lot. That's crazy. That's insane. I can't believe the Beau's last name is Biden, to be honest with you. But then it gets deeper, right? And I'm going to take you down a rabbit hole. But first, let's go to this next one. I need y'all to hear this last little part.
Okay, I'm outside, the dog's barking, all that nonsense. But I'm wildly thrilled to see that everyone thought the Beau Biden dig was really interesting. And I think it is too. But I didn't tell you like the deepest, darkest part of the story. So 2008,
Listen to
right, was
this.
when Joe Biden becomes vice president. And everyone's thinking that Beau was going to be the senator, right? But he turns it down because he's in that case that he was like, he literally threw his entire life into that case against the nation's most prolific child rapist. Gets him 14 consecutive life sentences, all that, right? But what made him go so aggressive all of a sudden into protecting children and child abuse cases? Something else happened in 2008, the same time he started the investigation into Dr. Bradley. You know what happened? In 2008, a student from Archmere Academy came forward with rape allegations against the teachers and reverends that worked at the school.
Archimere Academy. Archimere Academy. Look that up.
What's Archmere Academy, you ask? Well, wouldn't you know it? Every single one of the Biden children, Beau, Hunter, and Ashley, and Joe Biden himself, actually, all attended Archmere Academy. Biden 61, Beau in 87, Hunter 88, and Ashley in 99. This kid came forward in 2008. But listen to this. His name is Whitwell. Whitwell, a 1985 graduate of Archmere Academy, has alleged that his teacher, Smith, raped him more than 230 times in a 33-month period. 85 graduate. Beau was 87 graduate. This guy, before he even came to the school, in this article, which by the way you can find on bishopaccountability.org, before this, he had actually done the same thing in Pennsylvania to other kids at a different school, and they covered it up. So this guy had a string of abuse. He was obviously a lifetime pedophile. He wouldn't have just had one victim at that school. All the Bidens went there. This didn't get discovered till 2008. I think it's a strong case. I think that something happened. But here's the creepy part. Ask me this. Why on earth did just 2.5 weeks ago Joe Biden decide to have an international conference with Japan's leaders and Australia's at Archmere Academy, where he said it transformed his life?
So, hearing all of that, right, makes me think. Now, you heard in the first part of the video where he was talking and he was giving the statistics about how many kids are, abused and don't report it, right? One out of however many report it. Mostly do not, right? That's number one. Think about this. Now, hear me out. He's an advocate for this thing, and it's like deep in him to want to be an advocate for this. Maybe something happened to him at that school. I don't know. We'll never know because he's not here to tell the story. But normally when people got a heart for something like that, either they know something that happened to someone or it happened to them personally. And I got to throw it out there. The allegations about the diary with the sister. Now, was there things that he experienced in his own home or may have seen that made him so aggressive towards these type of people? Then you'll say, yeah, but Cash, if that's the case, wouldn't he have said something about what he saw in his home? Well, if you listen to him give the statistics on stage, you say most of the kids that this happened to say that they know or loved the person that did it. Right? So because he did love his father, I guarantee you that. They look like they were close. But what if the reason why he was so aggressive in these cases is because the person that he really wanted to get, he couldn't. So he was going after every single other person. This is just a what if. I'm not making any claims. I'm just saying, what if? I'm just thinking outside the box here. And then you just look at all of it. Biden can't get his story straight about what happened to his son, about how he passed away. And God bless him. Rest in peace to the brother. This is not a dig at Biden. I'm not trying to make a dig on him. But it's almost like I mean, they try to blame it on his dementia. You know, they say, well, he's got, memory lapses or whatever, but he's always done it. He's always done it, right? So what if it's more to the story? It's just a what if. I'm not saying, anything did happen. I'm just thinking, like, what if there's more to the story? Because we watch how it plays out. Ashley Biden, she's nowhere in the picture. She does not talk to nobody. She doesn't talk to nobody, right? And then you got Hunter. Hunter's all in the mix. Hunter got these allegations against him, right? With the laptop and all this scandal. And then they find cocaine in the White House. And, you just think about all these things. And I don't know. Like, I honestly, I feel sad for the Biden family, for the kids. I feel sad for the kids. I know they're not kids anymore. They're grown, but, I just think about all of this stuff. And, look at Hunter, the privileges that he's gotten, like, swept under the rug, things that he did wrong. He just one day decided, I'm going to be an artist. I'm going to do paintings. And was making more than actual artist. I think one painting sold for like $250,000 from an anonymous donor, an anonymous buyer. I don't know. I think about all of this stuff, y'all, and it makes me go, And that's another thing. You're exactly right, Kelly. The car accident with his wife. Now, I don't really want to make that claim, because that's touchy, and I don't know enough facts surrounding that. I don't know a lot. It's tragic. It's sad. But that's another thing. It's just like, when do you decide we're not going to ignore these things? Like when you look at with the Hillary Clinton in there, when you look at the Clintons, both Clintons, Bill and Hillary, and you look at the cases around them and how many people that passed away that are connected to the Clintons, it'll make you scratch your head and be like, yo, what are we actually dealing with here? What are we dealing with here? 9 out of 12 officers that seen the laptop of Hillary Clinton's unalive themselves or are no longer with us. Make that make sense. I don't even know that many people that have, passed away because of them circumstances. How is it that 9 out of 12 people around that laptop are gone? How is it that people that were implicated, Bill, in some things back in the day, all of a sudden just end up, missing, gone? Well, they found them. It was, that's a whole nother show. I wanted to do it the other day, actually, but that's just it. It's so much stuff. So then it goes down a rabbit hole of, okay, these politicians, these people in power, are they the mob? Like, are they mob style? What are they really? I don't know. I think about this stuff. But that's all I got. That's all I wanted to bring to you. I'll be back for another episode, full episode tomorrow. Tonight, I just wanted to run this by y'all and let you, see it and see what you thought. God bless y'all. I will catch you on the next one. Peace.